Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. AMC Stock back in the green today. If we close the day green, that is going to mark 3 days in a row that you have been in the green. Now, this could lead to a bigger upside rally. We'll talk about what I'm starting to expect could happen. Now, in the next video coming out at 4 p.m., we talk a little bit more in depth on that, but we will discuss that a little bit here in this video. Now, on top of that, we're going to get into all of the data you need to know around AMC stock. We are going to look at the Stocktwits gauge that I have been watching and go over what I'm waiting to see. We have seen some encouraging signs lately, but we'll see if we're getting closer to that here today. We will also look at what is going on in the broader market. So hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Consider sharing this video with a friend, a buddy, a pal as well. If you are also interested in more of your broad market kind of information, recession, no recession, the data that comes out, what the Fed's saying, what analysts are saying, different broad market kind of things. Besides AMC, check out the community page or the link down below in the description of this video. We have started a new channel for those of you guys that want to broaden your horizons to different information. And that information is very, very valuable if you are a broad market investor as well. If you own other stocks just besides AMC, best stocks to buy for 2024, things of that nature, what Tom Lee is doing or saying different things along those lines. Check it out if you guys want to. Consider subscribing over there as well. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into all of this information. Now, again, for some people that are a little bit confused on that second channel, that's just for people that, want to make money in other stocks or keep up to date with everything going on in the markets. Nothing changes over here. We're still going to cover AMC twice a day, every single day. A video is not going to come out on that second channel every single day. It's probably like every other day. Just covering what you guys really need to know over there. So again, just want to clarify, nothing is changing over here. Just a video is probably going to be posted every 2 days or so over there. So we'll see what happens. Nonetheless, if you take a look at the broader indexes today, everything is kind of flat across the board. Today could go really either way by the end of the day today. The Russell 2000 is the lagger, down about 13 basis points here today. Kind of flat though overall. Russell down 13 basis points is really nothing. The VIX is up 1.44%. Now, if we take a look at what Treasury yields are doing today, 10-year Treasury yields up another 3 basis points, climbing from the lows that we just set at about 3.78%. You've climbed about 10 basis points in the last 2 days, which is interesting because even though you've climbed, 10 basis points in the last 2 days, stocks by and large have been doing pretty well. Now, part of this is probably because institutional investors likely not back to the office yet until this upcoming Tuesday, just because, they tend to take this holiday season off. They tend to take themselves a little extended vacation. And historically, when the markets are left to retail investors tend to be more bullish than hedge funds and institutions broadly. And about 80% of the time, markets are green during the Santa Claus rally period from December 25th through the start of the new year, the first 2 trading days of the new year. So technically that would probably be January 2nd and January 3rd. The S&P 500 positive about 80% of the time with a gain of 1.4%. I don't know if we're going to come in that strong this year around, but I mean, this will be 5 years in a row with a green Santa Claus rally if we are indeed green again. The last time we were red during the Santa Claus rally period was 2018. So go ahead and keep that in mind. You're probably just going to be bullish here for the next couple of days. So be a little bit careful if you do have some bearish trades out there. The theta might kill them if they are very short term. Now, if you take a look at the latest AI investor sentiment survey, the bulls losing a little bit of control. That's actually great news if you are bullish and you want to see a continued rally here. Bullish investors drop from 52.9% to 46.3%. Neutral investors climb from 26.2% to 28.6%. And bearish investors climbed from 20.9% to 25.1%, a big jump in bearish investors and a large drop in bullish investors. That's exactly what you want to see, since you are getting to the point where, a lot of people are saying, hey, is this market extended too far at this point, to the bullish side? When you look at things like this, maybe not. I mean, the historical average is 31% bearish. You're 25.1% bearish now. So a little bit, on the historical bullish side, but not too far. Neutral investors are also a little bit under the historical average of 31.5% at 28.6%. So this does maybe suggest we can see a little bit more to this rally to go. Now, today, we really don't have much for economic data. We did have the Chicago PMI that did come out today, and we'll go ahead and run through those numbers. That came out at 46.9. Expectation was 51, so that did come in a little bit weaker than expected. So economy's weakening a little bit more in that area than some people thought. Now let's take a look at the probability of Fed policy and what's going on here in the markets today. So we are back to pricing in 6 rate cuts, no longer 7. Yesterday we were pricing in 7 rate cuts. The odds of this, 39.4% for 6 and 33.9% for 7. So firmly pricing in 6 rate cuts now, but this really sways depending on the data. So we'll just want to watch to see, how the data comes out and continues to evolve, and that'll dictate, how many rate cuts the markets do price in for next year. Still expecting the first rate cut in March, like for sure. 74.1% odds for March. 10.2% odds for a rate cut in March, or for 2 rate cuts in March, a 50 basis point rate cut, and 15.8% chance of no rate cut in March. A lot of Wall Street does not believe we're going to get the first rate cut in March. A lot of Wall Street believes May you're actually going to get the first rate cut. So that's interesting. We'll have to wait and see. The odds for May are actually 73.8%. We either get 2 rate cuts by May or a 50 basis point rate cut by May. So yeah, we're definitely pricing in the first rate cut in March, but a lot of Wall Street is not under that same view. So there you have that. Let's take a look at Stocktwits and see what this gauge looks like for AMC stock today. You can see AMC is now down a little bit, down 0.32% here today. Sentiment is neutral at 52. Yesterday, it was at 92. Now, the message volume today is high at 68. So we want to see the sentiment extremely bullish, and we want to see the message volume extremely high. These two things, coming together could spark a larger rally, or at least be a good sign of a larger rally to come. Now, yesterday, you were at this point, yesterday you were at 92 for sentiment, so extremely bullish. And yesterday you were at a 63 for your messaging volume, so not extremely high there on messaging volume, technically speaking. Even today you have more messaging volume than you had yesterday. We just want to see the sentiment be bullish for sure. Now, you can see a lot of people are actually bullish. It says AMC longs are positioning themselves for the run in 2024, and AMC shorts will lose this year. AMC market goes up, yet they keep this down. Says AMC, the drama at X over Pulte and who the real contributors are to the AMC/ape movement is nothing short of absurd. Apes eat crayons and could care less. Holding bullish. Says neutral much. And yeah, you can definitely see the buy and sell volume pretty neutral across the board so far here on the day today. That's an interesting point. Pulte has over 3 million subscribers here, or followers on X, and he is now buying AMC stock and directly calling AMC to, call him and have a conversation. Now, I personally think the next big catalyst we could see for AMC stock is potentially another confirmation that we're not going to get any more dilution. Now, again, we're going to talk about this more in the next video, but the last time this happened, guys, was on June 21st of 2022. AMC stock ended up rallying about 180% in that 3-month time period during the summer rally. So if that were to happen again, I think it could be more explosive explosive because now the Fed is done raising rates and they're going to start cutting rates and more liquidity can maybe flow back into AMC. I don't know, if Adam Aaron would come out and say, hey, we're not going to dilute shareholders for this whole year. We're not going to dilute shareholders for the first half of this year, probably the first half of this year. Honestly, I think at this point they have no choice but to hold off on diluting shareholders when the stock's at $6 per share. Now, Unusual Whales is reporting that 58% of U.S. households are now investing in the stock market, an all-time high per the Wall Street Journal. So this is good as well. I mean, more capital potentially could come into our markets. The next bull run, guys, is going to be absolutely insane. Let me know down below in the comment section if you think that bull run is starting here in 2024. I actually think the economy was probably in a recession the last 2 years. We might actually see a recovery in 2024. That's at least my personal opinion. We will have to wait and see how that does evolve. Now let's take a look at the option activity here on the day today for AMC stock so far. We really don't have anything coming through, but some of your volume analysis, very bullish. So volume today, 78.08% to the call side, 21.92% to the put side. Put to call ratio as far as volume today at 0.28%. Put to call ratio open interest at 0.42%. So looking pretty good there. And for your next large option expiration, January 19th, you do have volume today of about 66% to the call side and 34% to the put side. So definitely some solid numbers there. If we take a look at the Stock Tracker data, that is the next largest option expiration, January 19th. And you're going to have about currently 3,000 calls in the money, 162,000 calls out the money for that given expiration. 43,000 puts in the money and 77,000 puts out the money as of right now. So going to be a lot of big numbers there by the time we get into January for AMC. If Adam Aaron does, do what I think he is going to be forced to do, and that is to announce he's not going to dilute shareholders until at least the second half of 2024. If it aligns with around that time, right, in January, before January 19th, that could lead to a lot of upside volatility, potentially a gamma squeeze. Could be coming right around the corner, and I think that's so far off of, investors' radar right now. I think that's something you have to consider at this point. Usually when things are least expected, they actually happen. Now, as far as the Ortex data here, the short percentage of free float is at 8.78%. I think this is hundreds of percent sold short, but that's just my opinion. You have $134.91 million worth of short positions in AMC. Days to cover 1.07, 21.72 million shares that are currently sold short. Shares out on loan 20.75 million, 1.14% cost to borrow fees, 29.9% utilization, and 53.92 out of 100 for your short score. So definitely some low numbers here, that's for sure. I think these numbers are way fabricated, guys. And also keep in mind, we are going to be getting hopefully some short interest data that will start to get aggregated and posted to an online website on what the numbers look like for AMC and other stocks. That rule, remember that rule that was passed in late October, early November? That data should start to be aggregated and posted online here pretty soon. So we'll see when that does happen, but maybe we get more clarity on who is short, how long they've been short, all kinds of different information in that regard. So definitely want to be on the lookout for that one nonetheless. Now, again, back to AMC stock. AMC stock is down about 1%, almost 1% today, down 5 cents. We'll see if we can string together 4 positive days in a row. That's going to be great news for AMC stock investors. Well, technically this would be 5 days in a row now. You've already strung together 4 positive days in a row. If we get 5 days in a row, that is, my opinion, going to lead to a much larger rally. If you look at the RSI is definitely on the oversold side at 35.9, and the MACD is pretty neutral across the board. The yellow line slightly above the blue line, but really, I mean, nothing that's all too crazy here. Nothing that is, I mean, it's really not bearish, nor is it bullish. Technically, you are pretty kind of negative here for the MACD itself, negative 0.45 for the MACD line and negative 0.49 for the signal line. So technically a little bit on the bearish side, but I mean, for AMC standards, that looks pretty good for me, at least AMC standards as of recently, guys. So let me know what you guys think about all of this information down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you at 4 p.m.